In the first ever strongly worded message to Nepali political leadership from Washington since Nepal and the U.S. struck bilateral ties in 1947, the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State Donald Lu, in separate telephonic conversations with leaders including Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuba, has warned of reviewing its relations with Nepal in the event of Nepal's failure to ratify the MCC agreement. The U.S. has also concluded it believes that Nepal is guided by China if the U.S. grant is rejected. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the headlines of the hour. The dual role of the political parties evident as the government caught in a dilemma regarding MCC agreement. Nepal's diplomatic loopholes come to the fore. The government to administer booster dose against coronavirus to individuals above 18 years from tomorrow. 14 more deaths due to COVID-19 confirmed. The U.S. warns American citizens to leave Ukraine within the next 48 hours, saying Russia has the troops in place to invade the country at any time and an invasion can start with aerial bombing. And Nepal to face UAE in the second match of the T20 International Series in Oman today. Aims to win second consecutive match after a 6-wicket victory over Oman yesterday. The American grant program Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Nepal Compact is getting increasingly controversial because of the dual characteristics of major political parties. Instead of uniting on national agenda, the parties have been prioritizing their own political interests, which has led to backlashing that has hurt national sovereignty and prestige. Many parties, Nepali Congress, major parties in fact, Nepali Congress, CPN Maoist Centre and CPN UML have been airing contrasting statements on the compact while in and out of power. In the given scenario, the other parties too are yet to put forward their clear stand.
In telephonic conversations with senior leaders of Nepali Congress, CPN UML and Maoist Centre, Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Donald Lu took stock of the progress being made in regard to the MCC Nepal Compact. Prime Minister and Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba is learned to have expressed the commitment of the party for the parliamentary ratification of the compact. Likewise, CPN Maoist Centre Chair Pushpakamal Dahal requested for additional time to seek consensus among the parties. In response, Lu said that the compact could not be amended and Nepal could not be provided with yet another deadline extension, hinting towards cancellation of the program if it was not ratified by the parliament. Meanwhile, CPN UML Chairman KP Sharma Oli, in his conversation with Lu, has said that endorsement of the MCC was the responsibility of the ruling coalition. The stance of UML and Nepali Congress on MCC has been in sharp contrast while in and out of power. Congress had remained quiet when UML was making efforts for parliamentary ratification of the compact while it was leading the government. However, with Nepali Congress itself leading the government at the moment, it has shared grievances of lack of support from other political parties. In addition to playing silent in regard to the MCC, CPN UML appears to be implementing its strategy of demanding resignation of the Speaker of the House of Representatives and hoping to dent the ruling alliance. In the given scenario, Maoist Centre Chair Dahal, who had expressed the commitment of parliamentary ratification of the compact with the USA, has been voicing for amendments in the grant program. The stance of another party in the ruling coalition, CPN Unified Socialist, has also remained unclear. While the political parties are to decide on the parliamentary ratification of the MCC Nepal Compact, it is not appropriate for them to prioritize political benefits ahead of national interests.
Now, it's normal for political parties to compete in issues of national political interest. However, irresponsibility on part of the political parties in regard to international relations and diplomatic impact on the nation could be detrimental for the country. An acid test of Nepal's diplomatic capabilities is underway as the U.S. has been displaying strategic interest in Nepal that lies between two economic giants, India and China. Controversies surrounding the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Nepal Compact serves the case in point.
Nepal faces occasional complicated situations because of its failure in maintaining a balance of diplomacy between rising global superpowers, India and China. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has visited Nepal in 3 separate occasions, has reduced India's aid for Nepal, which is a reflection of Indian dissatisfaction with Nepal's diplomatic behavior. Meanwhile, Chinese President Xi Jinping's Nepal visit, the first of such kind in 23 years, was an achievement in itself. However, the political leadership of Nepal has not been able to reap benefits from the relationship with 2 powerful neighbors. In such a scenario, the United States of America is also currently observing Nepal with a keen interest. Implementation of the Washington-funded MCC-Nepal Compact would not just mean Nepal receiving a mammoth aid, but also will signal direct and diplomatic relation with the global superpower. While there might be vested interests of the US in the project, the political leadership has failed to ensure sound diplomatic dealing in the case. Whether it be the American Grant Program MCC or China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI, both are imperative aid programs for the economic development of countries like Nepal. Instead of ensuring sound diplomacy to boost ties with both the countries, Nepal has for long been apprehensive, fearing a deterioration of bilateral ties with either of them. While India has appeared quiet in recent time, its interest in Nepal can never be undermined. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which should have played a leadership role in ensuring sound international relationship and diplomatic protocol, has been limited to daily administrative works. With polarization among world powers intensifying, the political leadership, which should have been sensitive towards Nepal's interests and benefits, has instead been busy in prioritizing its own interests. This situation, where even the experts of foreign affairs have preferred silence, only showcases glaring signs of Nepal's failing diplomacy.
The government, in its fight against COVID-19, is to administer the booster dose against coronavirus from tomorrow to individuals above the 18 years of age. Meanwhile, 14 more fatalities due to COVID-19 and 666 new coronavirus cases were confirmed in the country yesterday. According to Ministry of Health and Population, the booster dose is to be administered to everyone above 18 years of age who had received the second dose of the vaccine at least 6 months ago. Likewise, the government also targets inoculating everyone above 12 years of age by mid-May. The ministry has further added that it has secured the vaccines for children of the age group 5 to 12. Meanwhile, the government has said that the committee formed to investigate on the missing 2.4 million doses of the vaccine is to furnish its report at the earliest. Now, fire has broke out in a noodle factory in Chapa's Mechi Nagar, Duha Gadhi. The noodle factory run by Manasa Food caught on the fire early this morning at around 4 a.m. According to Chief District Officer of Chapa, fire engines from Chapa and neighboring districts are being used for extinguishing the fire, which is still to come under control. The police have suspected short circuit as being the reason for the fire. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces what their take is on the change of office bearers and officials at state bodies with every change in government. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जनताले काम लिन सकिरहेका छैनन् कर्मचारीहरूबाट चाहिँ
आफ्नो खाले मान्छे राख्दाखेरि त्यहाँ सही स्वच्छ र चाहिँ निष्पक्ष काम हुन सक्दैन।
सरकारी पछि नै कर्मचारी परिवर्तन हुनेलाई चाहिँ म व्यक्तिगत तौरमा चाहिँ राम्रो मान्दिन।
सँगसँगै आउनुहुन्छ आफ्नो मान्छे लिएर अनि त्यो मान्छे गएपछि सँगसँगै जान्छ अनि सङ्घ संस्थाहरूमा अहिले पनि अन्योलता रहिरहेको छ।
यो त दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण कुरो हो।
सरकारले आफ्नो स्वार्थ र मनमानीको काम गर्नको लागि यो काम गर्छ।
शक्तिको दुरुपयोग हो।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why is the number of women scientists in Nepal negligible? Your options are A, lack of opportunity, B, social and gender discrimination, and C, indifferent towards studies. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Let's move on to the sports update. Nepal's cricket team is facing UAE in the second match of the T20 International Series in Oman today. The match to be played at Al Amirat Cricket Ground is scheduled to start at 11:45 a.m. Nepal time. Nepal are aiming to win their second consecutive match of the quadrangular T20 International Series after registering a 6-wicket victory over host Oman yesterday. The thrilling victory was scripted by Nepal's middle-order batsman Dipinder Singh Airi, who guided the run chase with a calculated 73-run knock. After being put into bat first at the Al Amirat Cricket Ground yesterday, hosts Oman were restricted to 135 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. Nepal chased the target, losing 4 wickets and 3 balls to spare. Vivek Yadav and Sagar Dhakal made their debuts in the international cricket from yesterday's match. There are chances that there may be some changes in today's playing 11. Lokesh Bam is still looking to make his debut in international cricket. The quadrangular T20 International Series is being played in preparation for the T20 World Cup global qualifiers. This is UAE's first match in the series. Nepal and UAE are in the same group in the global qualifiers. Nepal had won the 3-match T20 International Series against UAE back in 2019. Nepal won the series 2-1, losing the first match by 21 runs, but won the next 2 matches by 4 wickets and 14 runs. Avinash Bora was the man of the series back then. Now, 3 matches are lined up for today at the Martyrs Memorial A Division League. Defending champions Machindra Football Club and Chasal Youth Club are facing each other at the capital's Dasrat Stadium at 1 this afternoon. Machindra, who are undefeated this season, have 23 points from 9 matches. The club had blanked Brigade Boys 4-0 in their last match. Chasal are at the bottom of the league table with 5 points from 9 matches. In another match at Dasrat Stadium today, Manang Marsyangdi Club will play against 3-Star at 4:45 p.m. If 3-Star wins today, they will be level on points with Manang Marsyangdi. However, if Manang win today, they will keep their hopes alive of winning the title. Manang Marsyangdi and 3-Star were held to a 2-all draw last season. In another match, Nepal Police Club are facing Sadobata Youth Club at Anfa Complex today. This is the first meeting between the two teams in the A Division League. Sadobata had defeated Manang Marsyangdi 2-1 in their previous match. Meanwhile, Nepal Police had taken care of Chasal with the same scoreline. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.